For the Utah Jazz, Lauri Markkanen could be on the move. Let's talk about it.
Also, really quick, folks, before we jump into content, if this is the type of content that you enjoy, please feel free to subscribe to our channel. We are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. Just hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it.
We do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Let's go ahead and pivot over to the Utah Jazz, shall we?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Lauri Markkanen, man. Like, I know we touched on this a little bit last week, but since then, man, there's been a lot of chatter about Lauri Markkanen, man.
Dude, he's in pretty much every trade rumor that there possibly is. There's a bunch. I'll go into those in just a second, but Lauri is officially on the market for the Utah Jazz.
He is an all-star. He's an all-star level talent on a role player contract. Right now, this year, he's making $17 million a year. Next season, he's making $18 million a year.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, that's a role player type contract there. With the expansion of the playoffs and more teams thinking they believe they have a shot, and adding somebody who is literally almost 7 foot-ish, being a proficient 3-point shooter who's 7 foot tall, who can actually create his own shot, is insanely valuable right now.
Yep.
Insanely valuable. You mentioned it last week that he is one of the guys that is not like we wouldn't be able to replace this guy.
No.
So
not immediately. I mean, Lauri's played and started in 18 games this season so far. In those 18 games, he's averaging almost 39 minutes a game, and he's shooting 38.9% from three.
Yeah.
That's a crazy number, man, especially for a 7-footer that he can do it all. Like this is your poor man's Kevin Durant, right? I mean, he can dribble to the basket. He can score over top of you. He can shoot it in the mid range. He can shoot threes over top of you. Like
more durable than Kevin.
More durable,
yeah.
But I mean, he just literally got off injury. So let's take it easy on the durability. Okay.
Yeah, true. Very true.
But Lauri is a fantastic talent, right? This could completely change the way the Utah Jazz look, though.
I know. I agree. But before we get into the trade packages,
okay,
let's talk about what the request. So it's been reported on several different places, The Athletic, KSL Sports, that they are listening on offers on Lauri. We talked about this last week, and the only reason why I think the Jazz might potentially move it is just right now he's about to enter his prime, and the Jazz may not be in a position to where they compete when he's in his prime. I know you're a little bit more optimistic than I am about that, and we'll definitely get into that. But what the Utah Jazz are expecting to get back from him is basically a Dom level haul, basically.
Yeah, Dom and Rudy.
Like a Spider type haul.
Yep.
Not necessarily a Rudy type haul. I'm thinking a Spider type haul is probably what we're going to see. And it's been reported like we're talking 5 first-round picks or 3 first-round picks with 2 NBA-ready talent.
Yep.
What do you think?
The Jazz are listening to offers, but I don't think they take anything less than that. Mm-hmm. Why would you? The fact is, like you said, the dude's about to enter his prime. You know what I mean? Like he's about to get even better. And as long as you can continue to put talent around him, you're going to give yourself a chance to win. Right. Mm-hmm. And I don't think the Jazz are lacking talent now, but they're lacking cohesion in a lot of these situations. So I think as long as you can continue to put talent and grow cohesion, Lauri Markkanen is going to have a chance to grow and shine and be a fantastic player in the future for this Utah Jazz team.
100% agree. So now, have you heard any of these suggested trade packages for Lauri?
I have. The biggest one that I read that's probably most realistic, I would say this is kind of the level that Utah would have to be at. Mm-hmm. Sports Illustrated proposed this trade, and it's the Jazz to receive. So it's a trade between the Jazz and Oklahoma City. So the Jazz to receive Cason Wallace, Ousmane Deng, Davis Bertans, 2 2024 first-round picks, 1 2025 first-round pick, a 2027 first-round pick, and a 2029 first-round pick. And the reason that trade is so key is because if they pick up a 2024 first-round pick, guess who one of those is from? The Utah Jazz.
That's one of our picks, right?
Yeah. So the Jazz are in a bad season, which means their trade, if they get their first-round pick from Oklahoma City, it's probably going to be a top 10 pick, and It's not protected. So that's a huge. Oklahoma City in that trade package proposed by Sports Illustrated would receive Lauri Markkanen and Talon Horton-Tucker. Okay. So that is 3, mid-level players and 5 first-round draft picks, which is huge. That is a that is a Donovan or Rudy style.
It absolutely
haul for that type of player.
Now,
huge.
Okay, with that one said, give me a yay or nay, thumbs up, thumbs down on whether or not that is a Danny Ainge type pull the trigger.
if Danny Ainge actually officially gets offered that, I think he takes it.
I agree.
If he can
Can't
get
say no to
5
that one.
first-rounders for Lauri Markkanen, who he traded in a package for 5 first-round picks,
Right, which was a
that
throw-in,
makes
by the way.
Donovan
Yeah,
Mitchell originally worth 10 first-round picks.
which is insane. I you can't say no to that, man. You can't say
No, if he
What-
gets
what-
offered 5 first, he's taking it. I guarantee.
Would OKC make that offer?
I mean, if you're OKC, you've got a plethora of picks. Why wouldn't you? I mean, Cason Wallace and Osmani Dang, I'm not super sure on these guys. I know who Davis Bertans is, though.
Right.
And he's a good 3-point shooting big man. You know, he's been in the league a few years, played with the Spurs for a few years. So I know Bertans. But if you're going to get some mid-level talent and 5 first-round picks, and 2 of them are going to convey in the next draft.
Yeah.
I don't see how Utah says no to that. I mean, yeah, it hurts your soul to see Lauri go, but I mean, that is quite a haul for a player that's a one-time All-Star, like you said, about to enter his prime. I mean, and again, that turns the Donovan Mitchell trade into 10 first-round draft picks.
Yeah. Why would OKC want to do that? Right now, they're second seed in the West right now.
And
They're in
honestly,
win now mode right now.
They're in win now, and Lauri helps that team a ton.
Insanely. Yeah.
Could you imagine? I mean, because right now they got Chet Holmgren, who was the number 1
Chet,
overall pick
SGA.
last year. Yeah, SGA. I mean, they're ridiculously talented. And to add one more just solid 3-point shooting big man, how do you guard that? I can't tell you.
Yeah.
I have no idea. The other one that I kind of saw that it was interesting to me was a draft. This is from Clutch Points. They suggested a Jazz and Sacramento trade. The Jazz received Davion Mitchell, who's a good player, good player. Harrison Barnes, solid. I've actually wanted the Jazz to pick up Harrison Barnes for a few years. He's just expensive, and he keeps getting these super big contracts. Colby Jones, and then a 26 first-round pick, a 28, and then a 2030 first-round pick.
Yeah, I actually don't mind that. Lauri, I'd actually rather keep Chris Dunn over THT, so I prefer the other one. Here's the second piece, though. Here's the piece to that I'd like to add is, does he want to go?
No, I don't think Larry wants to leave Utah.
No.
I think he enjoys it here. I think he likes the family environment. I know the Jazz organization has taken great care of him, which is a very nice change because, you know, traditionally Utah hasn't been a place a lot of players want to play. So to move Lauri kind of hurts my soul because I think he does enjoy it here.
Mhm.
But from a business perspective and, you know, just straight up being a Jazz fan, we've got to get in a position so that we can win some basketball games because we haven't been. And it's been rough to watch. I don't think Will Hardy's a problem. Again, I think it's a cohesion issue. I think we're having trouble getting some of these players to mesh and work together and actually get it into a position they can be successful in basketball games. Turning the ball over has killed us. We've been running some weird defenses that have been effective sometimes and not effective other times. It's been tough to watch, man. So we've got some work to do as an organization. And yeah, I mean, Danny Ainge is just the guy to do it.
Yeah,
So,
I said on a previous episode that he's the type of guy. This is the guy who traded away Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Paul Pierce,
Kevin Garnett.
Yep. So this is a guy who's not afraid to trade anybody for if the price is right.
Your name don't matter. Yeah,
Exactly. But when it comes to Lauri Markkanen, he did say in an interview when he was asked about it is, first of all, I really don't think it's a good idea to like ask players in the middle, like, you've been brought up in trade rumors. What do you think about that? I know you have to ask the question, but come on, guys. Like, I don't know. I think that should always be like an off the court, not in a post game type thing or a pre game type.
I think it puts a lot of really awkward pressure on players.
Yeah, I
don't know.
if you got an exclusive, like where you sit on a couch somewhere, like an off day,
that's
cool,
the time to ask. And
yeah.
the fact is that they always answer the same way. Just part of the business.
Yeah,
That's what every one of them say. It's part of the business.
yeah,
NBA is a business. I'm all good with it. Whatever happens, you know, I love this organization. I want to stay here, but if I get traded somewhere, it's part of the business.
yeah.
It's the answer every time. Like if you're going to ask the question, just go ahead and write it down because I
Yeah.
can tell you.
I would like to quote what he said here with on an interview with The Athletic with Sam Amick. He said, like I said, I love being in Utah, and it's a compliment to what you've done in the past when teams have interest in you. We'll see. But yeah, I want to emphasize that I really believe in what we're building here with the Jazz. Go day by day, do your best. That's all you can do. He has mentioned in the past that he loves it here in Utah. Him and his wife want to raise his kids here. You mentioned it before on a previous episode, how hard it is to replace what he brings to the table.
Yep.
Do you think the Jazz move Lauri Markkanen by the trade deadline?
I don't think that it's like their top priority, but I know they're listening to offers. And I think that if they can get a 5-pick, 3-player massive haul for Lauri, I think he's gone.
Really?
I sincerely do. I think Danny Ainge will pull the trigger.
That's quite a pivot from last week, man. He's like, no chance. No chance.
Well, I mean, but the thing is like all the way up until this point, Lauri was untouchable. Can I go a little bit further to say I don't think anybody will give that much up for Lauri?
Okay.
I sincerely don't.
Fair enough.
Lauri's a fantastic player. I don't think anybody will give up 5 first-round picks for him. And I don't think the Jazz are in a position that they feel like they need to budge from that.
Let us know in the comments down below, folks. Do you think Lauri Markkanen has moved at the trade deadline this year? Let us know what team you think, if you know what your package is going to be, and your best NBA 2K
simulator. Yeah,
offer.
Absolutely. And if you like the content, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Leave us a like. We appreciate all your guys' engagement. Keep coming with it.
Absolutely.